Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So this mess that has hit the fan with P. Diddy and these lawsuits are getting worse and worse by the day, as we can all see. And a lot of people have been saying that it seems like everybody who was involved with this man is being drugged down to some extent now that this is hitting the fan. And they certainly are not lying about that. Allegedly, the lawsuit that Lil Rod filed has been amended, some new information has been included, and some new people have been implicated in these lawsuits. Just recently, Daphne Joy, who is the mother of 50 Cent's second son, if I'm not mistaken, by the name of Sire, was involved in all this. Her name was put out there. Now Lil Rod alleged that this woman was involved with P. Diddy. He alleged that she was a you-know-what worker. Now she is denying these claims, even going so far as to saying that it's defamation of her character. Allegedly, before this lawsuit, it was known within the industry, like I said, allegedly, that this woman had been involved with P. Diddy to some extent, so we're not going to act like she wasn't involved with him, allegedly. Word on the YouTube streets is that this is why 50 Cent has such an issue, or at least one of the reasons why he has such an issue with P. Devil Combs, because the man got involved with a woman that he had a child with. Now, I never really understood that. I am all for respecting the mother or the father of your child, because that is the mother or the father of your child. Although a person should not be concerned with who the ex-person, whoever they've been with, is dating, is being involved with, unless it's one of those situations where they could be in danger and you're genuinely trying to help them and they can't help themselves at the moment. But other than that, I never thought that that was wise or mature to be concerned with somebody's ex is doing. But like I said, that's one of the reasons why allegedly he has such an issue with P. Diddy. Allegedly, P. Diddy is one of the types of people who likes to mess around with the partners and ex-partners of his enemies. That is allegedly how far he's willing to go to spite his enemies. And we've seen proof of that by him messing with Kim Porter. His relationship, or lack thereof, if you will, with Al B. Sure. The nature of their beef, if you will. How I do believe he had something to do with what happened to that man, and it's no coincidence that he took Quincy under his wing, even labeled this man the prettiest ninja that he ever seen in his life, and that's exactly what he said, minus the actual N-word. So we've seen proof of him doing stuff like this. Like I said, Lil Rod accused this woman, alleged that she was involved so much to the point where she was on the payroll, if you will. She wants to take legal action against him, and I just think that this is a really bad look for her. And a lot of people have been saying that they feel like P. Devil Combs is using her against this man to try and discredit him and ruin the lawsuit that they've got going on to keep himself, let's just be honest, for facing any kind of consequences. And I do believe that that is what he's using her to do. Once again, we're not going to act like this woman had absolutely no kind of involvement with this man. If the shoe fits, we need to go ahead and wear it, but we've all got to say allegedly, because that's the way they got this thing going on here on YouTube. Now, of course, 50 Cent got on the internet and put in his 50 cent, if you will, on this situation, as he often does whenever his name is involved or somebody connected to him is involved. People praise him for trolling people and mocking people on the internet, and I always thought that that was ridiculous. This is a grown man we're talking about. People have deified, once again, these celebrities so much that they don't see how some of the stuff that they do and say is really not okay, really not right to do, because if this was anybody else, it would be seen for what it actually is, being an internet bully and just being disrespectful to people, being messy. But he gets a free pass because he's 50 Cent. And before anybody says, oh, he only trolls people and goes after people who comes after him first, that is not the truth. He made a statement, completely unprovoked, that was disrespectful, borderline racist, about Natania Washington, who he played in the Power series with, who had said nothing disrespectful to him, like I said, for no absolute reason. It was so messed up that even she said, what did I do, 50? I thought we were cool. And then he tried to smooth it over by saying, oh, it was all jokes, when it really was not. Once again, I get sick of this culture in the black community of disrespecting people and then labeling it a joke. It's all fun and games until it's you and your mama. I've said this before. She got upset how he was making light of this situation, joking about, poking fun at, trolling her over these allegations of her being a you-know-what worker, being on the payroll, if you will. This is nothing to laugh about. Like I said before, the shoe has to be put on if it fits, so to speak. But this is nothing to laugh about. This is not a joking matter. All the stuff that was listed in that lawsuit by Lil Rod is some serious and messed up stuff. And like I said, because of what he did, I guess she got upset and took to the internet and released some statements. Now, some things I feel like were worth looking into, but some other stuff that she said I feel like she's treading on some very thin ice, let me be honest. She made this post, and I feel like people were acting like they didn't know what she was talking about, but she actually made a legitimate point on that first paragraph where she was saying it's all fun and games until it's not, until you're wreaking havoc on people's lives, which goes back to what I said before in the whole Shannon Sharpe situation. It's all fun and games until it's taken too far, until somebody snaps, until somebody says something out of turn because they're sick of you just trolling them and being disrespectful. And then when she said, okay, well, imagine now if your son had been taken out in handcuffs, like how Justin and Christian were. Because remember, they got caught up in that because of the allegations on Diddy about him allegedly trafficking people. So imagine if she had got caught up in that because he wanted to troll and throw information out there. And now while she was with her son or something had happened, he had got caught up in that, like how P. Devil Combs' sons had got caught up in that. That's something that people don't think about whenever they're doing all this stuff. Then she went on talking about his alleged absenteeism, if you will, in the child's life. And this came about because he was threatening to get custody of their son because he didn't want that child around her if she was going to be involved with the likes of Diddy, which I agree with that. If she's going to be around him, knowing how dangerous he is, especially around children, especially around young boys, that child does not need to be anywhere near her. Although, we're not going to sit up here and act like 50 is just doing this because he cares so much about his son. Because if he wanted that child, he would have fought for custody the moment that she had him. Let's just be blatantly honest. I done said before, I'm not a fan of any of these celebrities. Not one of them has died on the cross for my sins. I am not the almighty judge, although I'm also not going to pedestalize, so to speak, or excuse grown behind individuals who don't do right, who have ulterior motives. Like I said, if he really wanted that child, he would have been fought for custody. The reason why I feel like he's really doing this now is because the cat is out of the bag. I honestly believe all these people already knew this information. I believe he knew that she was already involved with P. Devil Combs. But now that everybody else knows, he's upset about it, which is why he wants to do something to get back at her. And before anybody says that's too far-fetched, once again, remember, everybody dubbed him the petty one. Remember, the one who likes to troll, who likes to take shots at people. And if any of this is true, what she's saying about this man not seeing his son, that she moved closer to him so that he could have access to the child and he didn't visit him only but 10 times in 2 years, don't neither of them need to have the kid in that case. Once again, I'm not about to coddle or excuse grown people and their foolish grown people adult choices. I believe he already knew what kind of woman Daphne Joy was. He knew that woman did not want to settle down with him and be a wife to him. He knew she was living a certain lifestyle that had to be funded, that she wanted to be funded, and he chose to acquiesce her, then got upset whenever she decided, allegedly, that she wasn't getting enough money, so she went over to P. Diddy. Once again, I feel no ways for these adult celebrities. I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for his son. And while we're on the topic of his sons, some people felt a certain kind of way towards 50 Cent because of the lack of a relationship that he has with his first son. And if anybody tries to justify the decisions that he made concerning that situation, once again, he chose to lay down with who he chose to lay down with, have a child by that woman. It was his responsibility as a grown adult and that child's father to raise him right, to treat him right, to raise him how to act right. Anyways, then in this last paragraph, she went on about how she is alleging and accusing that he assaulted her. Now, I don't know if that's true. This is the first time everybody's hearing about this. A lot of people refuse to believe it because once again, they put 50 Cent on this pedestal of he can't do any wrong. I take this stuff very seriously. I don't believe that all women who accuse people of things like this are telling the truth. There are some women who have falsely accused men before in the past, although what we're not going to do is use those women as an excuse to ignore the many more women who are telling the truth whenever they come out with these accusations. Not all women are liars, and I'm not going to sit up here and just, justify whatever or say he didn't do it or exonerate him, because once again, I can't say that. And what I don't want to do is say, oh, he didn't do this, and then God forbid it come out that he did. And that will make me look like I'm taking up for an abuser, all because I didn't wait until more information came out. Or because I was so busy trying to support a celebrity who I don't know personally, who doesn't know me, who does not care about me or my existence. And because I was trying to throw the person who was accusing said celebrity under the bus because I don't identify with them or they're from some other demographic. Like I said before, I take this stuff very seriously. These kind of situations have to be handled with seriousness and care, not just for her, but also for him, so that in the case that she's not telling the truth, he won't get thrown under the bus and get the short end of the stick, so to speak. Now, I am still giving her a side eye in this situation. Let me be real honest. I get that she's upset, but the fact that she would throw this information out there in an emotional moment when she's angry with him was very unwise, and it's going to reflect badly back on all other women, especially women who've been through stuff like this. This is the reason why a lot of them can't get the justice that they deserve. I can't say it's true and I can't say it's false, although this is what I will say. I certainly hope that he did not do this to this woman. Once again, why she would put this out here during this moment. Like, I'm all for you coming out when you feel comfortable, but you cannot take an emotional, like I said, moment and take shots at somebody and then use that to do it, because that makes you seem less genuine. Although, like I said, I really hope he didn't do this to this woman. And I really hope she's not using that as a way to take him down, or letting P. Devil Combs use her to use that as a way to take him down, because she's mad at him once again because them falling out, this information coming out, him trolling her about it, and then threatening to take custody of their child away. Now, what's giving that accusation that she made against him legs to stand on, so to speak, is the fact that she had to file a restraining order against him back in 2013 for DV allegedly, and for destruction of property or something along those lines allegedly. Some people, I said some people, are feeling like, well, if you could put hands on her, if you can beat her allegedly and destroy property, they wouldn't put it past him doing something else, if you get my drift. So once again, this has turned into a he said, she said situation. It's up in the air. All we can do is wait and hope for the best. Now, the second person who got accused and alleged was on the payroll by Lil Rod, which is no surprise to me, is Lil Miss Carisha Please. Now, this woman has been saying, and people have been pointing this out for months, years, some of the dirty stuff that she's been involved with, some of the dirty stuff she likes to do and be done to her. Now, I'm a firm believer in, if you're married to somebody, what you do in your bedroom is none of my business. Do what y'all want to do as long as it's consented to by both parties and it is within what God sanctioned for a man and a woman to do. So don't be bringing second and third and fifth and fourth parties into the bedroom. No animals, if you will. Crazy stuff. Do what God allowed you to do and told you to do. Although this woman getting on the internet telling people she likes golden showers, that she's a whore with a W, that she likes all this nasty stuff being done to her is not only disgusting, we didn't ask for it, but it's also completely out of line, completely out of pocket. She did, if I'm not mistaken, made some kind of comment to the effect of that she was P. Diddy's sugar baby, essentially, and that she was getting paid a certain amount per month to be that. And a lot of people were putting her on a pedestal saying, oh, well, get the bag. Get the bag. That's a lot of money. You're making more money than some people went to school to make. But look at all of what she's doing. And while she might like doing it, the fact that some young woman, and I made a video about this a while ago, has degraded herself so much, has lost so much self-love and respect for herself, that she will allow a man to do that to her for a price is really sad. Yes, it's messed up and it's disgusting, but we need to do a deeper dive into what happened to her mindset. Where were her parents? Did they show her love? Did they raise her to love herself and respect herself? Did she have a father to show her how to be treated by a man properly? That she would go on and allow this to take place to her? I don't think that she did. And it is very sad. Although this is the lifestyle that she chose to be involved with, at the end of the day, she's got to take responsibility as an adult. She chose to do this. She chose to be involved with P. Diddy. And the crazy part is, she is 0.5 of the city girls. Even her counterpart, JT, was basically like, oh no, this is too city girl for me, and has distanced herself from Young Miami and the craziness that she has gotten herself into involved with P. Diddy. Now, some more crazy stuff connected to that and Young Miami. Well, for one, there was a young man, a 25-year-old, who was the alleged drug mule of P. Diddy by the name of Brendan Paul. He was arrested during the raiding process, and whenever P. Diddy was allegedly hopping planes down there in Antigua, allegedly he was taken into custody, but allegedly he was released. Once again, these celebrities, they know how to make stuff happen with their power, influence, and money. Now, I mentioned that piece of information because I'm going to come back to that later. Lil Rod accused and alleged that Young Miami was out here smuggling pink cocaine, otherwise known as Tucci, for P. Devil Combs. Now, I said allegedly. I've never even heard of pink cocaine until this hit the fan. Allegedly, the people up at the top, the people with that power, money, and influence I was talking about, have been known about this for some time now. And the reason why I brought up both of those particular situations is because it has been alleged and rumored that P. Devil Combs has had some issues with drugs in the past, if you will. Both of them carrying this stuff, allegedly. Being around him, being able to get access to it for him would then basically validate some of those rumors and claims, allegedly. It's just really sad that these people, especially people like P. Devil Combs, who has had the audacity to fix their raggedy mouths and make it seem like they are some kind of pro-black individuals, because if I remember correctly, he tried that route once in the past. It's just sad that with all the money that they have, they could be helping people out here, building homes for people, building apartment complexes, helping people pay off their student loans respectfully. Although they choose to instead do goofy stuff like depreciate people, pay people to pimp their morals out, pay for things that they should not be, buying drugs and trafficking people allegedly. This is a sad world we live in. Remember when I said the people who are around him or involved with him were getting drugged down with him to some degree because of all of this? This is another example of that. So once again, Natania Reuben has come on and she's been saying that she feels like the case that was her case getting pow-powed, if you will, in the face by him allegedly in that club back in the late 90s in New York should be reopened. She said she had evidence. She was screaming his name before they put her under the anesthesia to take the bullet fragments out of her face. I don't think people realize, once again, how much surgery costs, how much getting that repaired costs, how in danger and at risk her life was with those bullet fragments in her face. She said that she saw them take the gun out. She knew that Jennifer Lopez had the gun. We're going to all say allegedly, although Jennifer Lopez took it upon herself, which it don't surprise me about. And I'm going to talk about her in another video about this little movie that she had put on. But it doesn't surprise me that she would get on the stand during the trial that they had back in that time and lie and say that she did not have that gun when she did, allegedly. She's saying that she feels like the case should be reopened because she lied essentially, allegedly, under oath. And I'll say if that is the case, then they do need to reopen that case because, unfortunately, justice was withheld from her because possibly that being one of the reasons, because of the lie that she allegedly told in court. And she needs to face some legal consequences for what she did. And before anybody tries to say, oh, boo-hoo, Jennifer Lopez, maybe she was forced by P. Diddy to carry the gun. Once again, this woman got shot in the face. This woman, Natania Reuben, was shot in the face. Her carrying his gun could have gotten her in trouble as well, but she could have told them, if that was the case, that he forced her to do it. That might have helped her case, and it also might have helped him receive some kind of legal consequences. I said might. And she even said that. She said, well, what would have happened? We'll never know now. But if Jennifer Lopez allegedly wouldn't have lied about having the gun and he would have actually faced some consequences, maybe he would not have had the chance to go on and victimize all these other people. Once again, people need to think about this before they cover other people in their wrong. All of what you're doing could be low-key aiding and abetting them to create future victims. Not to mention that Shine took a 10-year fall for what he did. And some people have the audacity to try and praise that as loyalty. Oh, he was loyal. That was loyal. No, that was crazy. He was unwise. And once again, I acknowledge the fact that P. Devil Combs could have threatened him into doing it. That's something we need to consider too. Although that was crazy. That's not loyalty. That's you threw your friend under the bus to cover your own behind when you should have just went ahead and faced the consequences of your own actions. Once again, this is why I'm not quick to put any of these celebrities on a pedestal. I don't care who they are. Some of these people have thrown people in the trash. They've thrown people under the bus. They have ruined people. Why people still support this man? There have been people coming out of the woodwork like Joe Budden, if I'm not mistaken, and Charlemagne, who really had the audacity to say that they were so upset that this was happening to them. And in my mind, I'm saying, well, please keep exposing yourself if you don't mind. Because anybody who's supporting this man after all the black people that he has ruined, hurt, allegedly deleted, needs to be looked into and investigated as well, especially Charlemagne. So I don't think he really wants to take it there, if you know what I mean. Lastly, we've got the one and only Bishop T.D. Jakes, which I know people are probably sick of hearing about. Well, they were already sick, of all those power bottom allegations and rumors that had been going around not too long ago. But he's being looked into again because, once again, when there is somebody who has serious allegations like R-wording people, having a network of individuals that are allegedly helping him with this stuff, alleged trafficking allegations, Everybody they've had contact with, they've been involved with, who's been at their house multiple times, they've been intimate with, if you will, or involved with in a sexual way, has to be looked into. And it was rather specifically stated that in this lawsuit, they were looking into him because allegedly P. Devil Combs was planning on using his connection to Bishop T.D. Jakes to try and soften the blow, as it says right here in this article, of what was going on with him. I guess he really thought that people were going to be like, oh, well, he's like involved with a bishop. He can't be that bad. He's taking pictures with the bishop. How bad can he really be? But I guess people are really not as stupid or unwise as he wants everybody to be, and they're not going for it. They're not falling for it at all. And even though it was months ago, his response to the allegations, the initial allegations, and that picture that was circulating around with him hugged up with P. Devil Combs, I still don't like his response. His response still doesn't sit well with me. Because really, it was more of like well, even if I did do it, what are you going to do about it? Oh, I'll just ask God for forgiveness, which is so wrong. I can't even begin to explain how wrong that is. You don't just intentionally do wrong, and then when you about to get caught up, allegedly, you just say, oh, I'll ask God for forgiveness, and he'll just forgive me, and that'll be the end of that. No, God's going to hold you accountable of what you did. That response that he gave only made some people double down in how they felt about what he was being accused of. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.